thinking about moving to Phoenix in 2026, stop and watch this first because this city is not what most people expect. And there are things here that can completely change your day-to-day life and your wallet. I am so excited. I'm gonna have so much fun sharing this with you. 37 different things that you need to know before making the move. Number one, 10 miles does not make 10 minutes by any means. Phoenix will humble you fast. Commutes to areas like Scottsdale and Tempe are definitely the most underestimated. And let me tell you, ChatGPT and Google Maps are wrong 90% of the time. I'm telling you. It takes longer. Just because it's 23 miles doesn't mean it's even going to be 45 minutes. That's why you need to give us a call. Commute time is different than mileage. Number two, healthcare costs is actually one of the areas that Phoenix runs below the national average at about 7% cheaper than average. There is a very distinct difference, though, between healthcare on the West Valley and healthcare on the East Valley. So if it's important to you, identifying that proximity is super important. Number three, schools start here in July. What? Totally different than the rest of the country, which is like August and September. So if you're trying to time when the kiddos are getting out of school, that first year is going to be a little different. You'll be starting school around the 3rd or 4th week of July. They have a 2-week break in October. They have a winter break in December, January, and then they have a spring break in March. Whereas again, the rest of the country sees that in usually April, but we're out of school by usually the 3rd week of May. If this is important, timing your kids' education, give us a call. I love number four. Halloween is always on October 31st. Even if it's a Tuesday, we don't change Halloween. And if we're lucky, it'll be 80 degrees that day, so everyone can enjoy the evening fun. Number five is Phoenix's job market is genuinely diversified now. It's not the old Phoenix that you once remember. Tech hubs, healthcare, logistics, aerospace, and finance are all major players, not just construction and tourism as we once were. We are seeing an explosion in the chip manufacturing area and will continue to see so over the next 30 to 50 years. Watch out, world. Phoenix has only just begun. Number six, it is a lot more expensive to build your own home than buying from a builder. We've had a lot of calls recently about some new communities that David Weekley opened up, and they are going to be finishing up at that $1 million price point. And they're like, I'm going to just buy a lot and build my own home, and I'm going to save a ton of money. Unfortunately, it'll probably be twice the price for the same size home, and it won't be in a planned community. Number seven, nice backyards cost in upwards of about $150,000, but rarely add more than $25,000 to maybe $40,000 in value. This is why resale can be a much bigger win for buyers. So if you're thinking about that dream backyard with a pool, maybe a little pergola, maybe a small barbecue and a few palm trees, you're talking $150,000. So maybe buying a newer home works better than new construction. Number eight, acreage or land comes at a premium in the greater Phoenix area. We have a lot of people moving here from places where they had half-acre, 1 acre, and even more lots. And although they're like, well, I don't mind, not being as big, but I am looking for a half-acre, 1 acre. I'm telling you, in the Phoenix proper area, they are either going to be very expensive or they're going to be way outside of town in order to find lots that large. Phoenix is known for ridiculously small lots, and it's not a favorite of mine. Older homes tend to have somewhat larger lots, although not what I would call acreage. Number nine, Luke Air Force Base definitely needs to be considered if you are buying anywhere in the west part of the valley. That jet noise is no joke a lot of times. They have certain days that they fly more than others, so it's not consistent every single day, but it can become quite a nuisance. All right, coming in at number 10, and don't forget, we're doing 37, so we've just barely scratched the surface here. But number 10 is gonna come in at no particular order. Water can be very different in every single city. Every single city. We're talking price, we're talking quality, even the taste of the water, and of course, the quantity. How long will water be available in the area that you're looking? Haha, all very good questions. And it does vary from city to city. So if this is important to you, that's why you got to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, scan this QR code right here, connect with us on our website, and we'll set up a Zoom so that we can answer all your personal questions. But we have a lot more to cover, so don't go anywhere. Let's go on to number 11. Number 11, politics vary a lot depending on the city you choose. Central and South Phoenix, Tempe, South Scottsdale are mostly blue, and you can feel it. So if that's important to you, great. If it's something that you don't like, the rest of the valley is mostly red. And to be honest with you, in my opinion, more free to be however you want. But if this is important to you, you got to give us a call so we can have a more drilled down, deep dive conversation. Coming in at number 12, even though they're not in order, is desert hiking is not like anywhere else. It's serious, guys. Like, people don't take it seriously, especially because they don't realize how the lack of humidity affects your body. We drink water literally 24/7. We all have our Yetis or Stanley Cups or whatever, and we carry these things around like it's our lifeline. And when you're hitting the trails, it's even more so. And it's serious heat exposure, even when it's not serious temperatures. Water is the number one thing. Never go past you stop when you're halfway done with your water. If you start with a bottle of water, and don't sip it, drink it. You have to hydrate. I'm telling you, there's a way to hike in Arizona, or should I say in the desert. It's very different in different elevations. So bring plenty of water. If it is 100 degrees, you cannot bring your dogs on the trail. I don't care how much water you have. I don't care if they have booties. Booties are not good, by the way, in the desert for the dog when it's hot, because then they can't breathe through their paws. There are fines and up to 6 months in jail. And let me tell you also, the hiking shoes that you use here, you don't want to use those big, heavy mountain boots in the desert. It will make you hotter than you need to be. Like I said, desert hiking is not like anywhere else. If you want, though, give me a call, because I'm an avid desert hiker. Number 13, summer electric bills can shock you if you're not prepared. Absolutely. Now, here's the thing. Depending on where you're coming from, especially the cold country, we take your electric bills and your gas bills. We combine them and we compare that to ours, whether it just be electric, because a lot of homes actually just have electric. We don't have gas in all the homes, although new construction is offering gas in almost all of the new communities. Point is, if you're coming from the cold country, if you combine the two for the entire year, you'd be surprised how much it comes out the same. However, when you first move here, you're going to think it's great if you move here in the cold part of the year, and then all of a sudden in July, when you start to see your June bill go up a little bit, you're like, it's doable. By August, you're freaking out. Number 14, bugs and critters do exist in the desert, but they're all manageable. So scorpions are real in a lot of areas. In the outer lying areas and in the new areas. Think about it, guys. If it's new, that was desert just a little while ago. And although the builders treat for termites, they don't treat for any other critters. Pest control is normal. It's an ongoing. I have my home treated every other month. I've never seen a scorpion in my home, and I have no bug problems. But if you let it go, it can come to bite you. Literally. In your bedsheet. Number 15, Phoenix gas is amongst the highest in the nation. I'm not just talking about right now in 2026 when everybody has escalated prices, but it's typically always within the top 5 most expensive states for gasoline, trailing only to California. Why? Well, because they call it a summer blend requirement. And it typically is during the hotter months, but it's not just in summer. So it's a cleaner burning, more expensive fuel blend that is mandated typically May through about September. So when you actually head out of town to like Flagstaff or even down to Casa Grande, You're like, whoa, gasoline is cheap down here. And you fill up when you're heading out of town. It usually is the other way around when you're traveling in the rest of the country. It's more expensive in like those remote towns. Phoenix is just expensive. So again, when you are looking at housing and you're thinking it's cheaper to go further out, if you're adding a couple of extra $100 a month in gasoline, is it really cheaper? Number 16 is schools can vary completely different depending on what city and district you're in. But here's the thing, even within a district, you can have good and bad. Arizona public schools are not the best. In fact, they're ranked some of the lowest in the country. But that's also why they started open enrollment and school choice. And there is a plethora of A+ schools available every city and area. It's just maybe not walkable. Here's the thing, guys. Non-tuition charter schools, Montessori schools have been a huge success in Arizona. So when you're doing your research, you want to go beyond that public school system, because I promise you, no matter where you're looking, there is a good or even great school within proximity where mom and dad might have to drive the student, but there are options. Number 17, Phoenix as a whole, like the entire Phoenix metropolitan area, covers 2 counties, is very car dependable. Public transportation, even in the core part of the city, it's nominal. Size-wise, we are compared to some of we're the 5th largest city in America. And you know what? If we had to rank where we're at on public transportation, I would say we're probably down in the hundreds. Like, we don't have very good public transportation. It's only kind of in Phoenix, Tempe, and Mesa. Like, really, that's it. I mean, there's some buses that you can catch, but here's the thing. You're gonna be very car dependent. You're gonna have more expenses on your car and gasoline and insurance and tires and wear and tear and oil changes. And walkability is just not a thing here. Unless you're in a condominium or an apartment complex that is built right into where a lot of these shopping destinations are, walkable to a lot of amenities, it just isn't a thing here. There are some areas of different parts of the cities that have like some built up shopping or shopping malls, and there's a couple little bars or restaurants or places where you can pop on over, maybe even for a coffee, but it's very individual. We just don't have districts like that. If it's important to you, that's why you got to give us a call, because you're never going to find these online by yourself. Number 18, Scottsdale and Gilbert, in my opinion, are nothing alike. They all say Gilbert is the new Scottsdale. Here's the thing, if you're looking for luxury home, you're looking for a bigger bang for your buck, you're gonna get a luxury home in Gilbert cheaper than you are in Scottsdale. But the cities itself, or should I say town, is nothing alike. Scottsdale is all about walkable areas, it's outdoor lifestyle, it is definitely luxury, it's also about clubs and high-end restaurants, it's about $1 million vehicles, it is like $10, $20 million homes, it is true luxury. Gilbert is an amazing town that has just exploded over the last 25 years, and there is amazing, beautiful $1 million homes. Occasionally there's some random $20 million home popping up, but does the city really warrant it? Not at all. It has a lot of shopping, but not the high-end shopping. It has some high-end dining, but not all the high-end dining. It doesn't have the $1 million vehicles. It doesn't have the ladies walking around in their $1 million pearls and luxury bags and, well, nobody wears furs, but you get my point. Gilbert is not Scottsdale. They both have beautiful homes at different price points. Number 19, termites are a thing. Now, depending on where you're coming from, that can scare you. Here in Arizona, more specifically in the desert in Phoenix, it's not a matter of if you get termites, it's just when. So when you purchase a home, we always recommend that you get a termite inspection. Some lenders actually require it if you're going to be doing financing. Newer homes have usually the dirt has been treated for and there's a 5-year warranty on it. So again, it varies from builder to builder. Some of the smaller builders actually don't do that. That's why you got to give us a call. We are specialized in new construction, whether it's big or small, independent builders or custom homes. The thing is, overall, it's cheap to remedy in Arizona. It's not a major concern. It doesn't even distract your personal life or your pet safety. Just got to have a conversation about it. We're at number 20. Phoenix has some of the most consistent weather in the entire country. It's safe for sure, and it definitely helps keep homeowners insurance down. But you know what? We do have a monsoon season. That's our favorite time of year, July through September. That's when it literally can be a storm out of nowhere, and it drops the temperature like 20 degrees in 10 minutes. But these bring big dust storms, so there's major cleanup, and it can be a hazard on the road. We have very strong winds to the point where you might find your pool furniture in the pool or your trampoline down the street, and some sudden rain. So be careful out there during those summer months when the storms come in, because they are no joke. The good thing is there is rarely any power outages even when these storms come in. They are beautiful watch from a safe place. Number 21 is so frustrating that new homes often have smaller lots. Builders are building communities very differently today. Some people might say they're being greedy. That's really, yes, probably, but really what it is the communities are built very differently. If we go back to the 90s or even the 2000s, they were taking, let's just say, 1 acre, and they were putting 8 homes on it. Well, now what they're doing in that 1 acre, instead of 8 homes, they'll put like 6, or they'll put 5. But instead of sharing that land, what they're doing is kind of holding that land to make the big common areas amazing. So you have the clubhouses, the community pools, the big parks, the playgrounds, the dog parks, a lake even. So they need to use that land for those common areas. So new homes have better common area amenities, but smaller lots. Number 22, the heat isn't just hot, it's relentless for months. Grocery shopping is a planned event. It's not like, oh, hey, I'm on my way home, I think I'll stop and get something for tonight. You better make sure you have your cooler in your car so you can put your ice cream in there so it doesn't melt on your way home, especially if there's more traffic, or God forbid, if you have to stop in 2 locations to do your full week's grocery shopping. The hotness really gets to me by August. It's doable in July. I think the whole 4th of July thing, and it's still kind of new. You can jump in the pool. The pool is still like a moderate 80, 85 degrees. But by August, when our humidity goes from 12% to 35%, that's high for us. You're dripping. Trying to show homes in August is absolutely miserable. You're just completely drained by 1 p.m. And so you change your life completely, in my opinion. Again, the worst months are July and August, but I'm going to be honest with you, it's June to September for sure. Number 23, it's not just about the house price, especially when you're comparing it to places like Illinois, Texas, and Florida. Housing prices in those areas are actually less, but the rest of the total cost of ownership is more. You're going to be paying higher utility bills, or I should say equal. You're also going to have higher property taxes and homeowners insurance. So when you look at the total cost of ownership, it's actually very comparable to most of these areas. You just got to give us a call so we can have that conversation. You might get frustrated when you're just looking at price points, but again, it's not apples to apples. Number 24, move-in ready means different things to different people. But really what it means is, come see my house. I think it's amazing, even if it's not. These are just descriptions that realtors are putting together, and they're probably using AI to use the best pull-in words. Same thing with builders and their billion-dollar marketing departments that are there to suck you in and show you fake pictures of the desert. Here's the thing. If you want to know what it's really like, you gotta give us a call, because I'm telling you, this is no filter, girl, and I'm going to tell you like it is. Pros and cons exist everywhere that you actually might be looking. So let's have a real deep dive conversation so that you get the truth and know what to look for when you are looking at resales. There's definitely a skill that we'd love to teach you to make you a smarter, more informed buyer. Number 25, so true. The East Valley, which is considered Gilbert, Tempe, Chandler, Mesa, Queen Creek, versus the West Valley, which is like Goodyear, Surprise, Buckeye, is a real identity divide amongst locals, like huge. East Valley folks rarely cross town voluntarily, unless it's a football game. Number 26, and so important if you are looking at new construction, builder lot premiums rarely are online. If you see a base price, know that one of the things that typically are added on are lot premium. These are going to be based on location, orientation, and of course size. And this is something that you as the buyer will be absorbing 100% of the cost and is not necessarily passed on to the next buyer. So if you have a premium lot, maybe on the golf course, and you pay $150,000, you might see some return on that. If you are buying a lot that maybe is 2,000 square feet larger than the neighbor, but everything else is still the same, you're going to pay that premium, maybe 7, maybe 10,000, depends on the builder and the area, but you're going to pay that premium when you're buying it, and it is not passed on to when you're selling it. Here's the other misconception, is some buyers see that this builder might be offering 1, 2, maybe even 3 different types of series. They see the big lots over here, but they see the smaller home prices over here, and they want to put a small home on the big lot. They do not allow that. They reserve the larger lots for the larger homes because there's probably fewer lots that can accommodate the larger homes. So although it makes sense to you, you have to give us a call so we can help you figure out what the builder might offer and what that end cost might be. Number 27, north-facing backyards get more shade, huge in the summertime, but south-facing backyards are more ideal for sun lovers without getting total heat exhaustion. You'll use your outdoor space way more than you think you will. Even if you don't do it where you live now, here in Arizona, it's just the way we live. And if it's done right, it can be done year round. We're talking about misters, fans, shade structures, and even trees. Just make outdoor living possible, even in the summers. Number 28, pools cost money to maintain. And I'm not talking about monthly maintenance, not just to build. So we're not just talking about chlorine, sweeping, and you know what? If you didn't know this, shock is not a great thing in Arizona. Here's the thing, you need to refill your pool every other summer because the water, the pH level, the alkaline level, it dies, and you gotta change it every other year. That's a cost. We also have pool equipment, a pool pump, the little swimmer dude. We're talking also about, even if you have plaster, that's going to be every 5, 7, 9 years. And Pebble Tech is 10, 12, 15 years. It's a big cost, more than just that monthly brush. Number 29, garages are hot in the summer. Don't make your garage your storage space and put your most expensive item, the car, in the driveway. The sun kills everything in Arizona. Heat can be just as damaging. Forget about candles, anything like sensitive, like memories, even paper becomes brittle. Batteries will blow up. It's just not an ideal place to do a lot of delicate storage. Think about that before you think about the size of the home and the junk you bring to Arizona. Number 30, some neighborhoods have power lines nearby. And just to let you guys know, that's not okay. If you're coming from a very built up area, let's just say like Los Angeles, you're used to having power lines literally maybe even right over your house. It's not like that here. You don't have to have that type of a property in Arizona. There's way too many choices that are in your price range. Don't get sucked into a beautiful mountain view right next to a power tower. Here's the thing, builders will tell you it's no problem. It's a problem. When it comes to resale, people are not going to want it. You're going to have a smaller pool of buyers interested. You got sucked in, but how are you going to sell it to all those buyers that are just looking online and just passing you on by? Always remember the exit at the beginning. Power lines are a huge negative, as is busy streets and also commercial properties. Know what you're getting into before you make the purchase. Number 31, commute time matters more than pricing for long-term happiness. I'm telling you, and there's other costs, as I mentioned. Gasoline out here right now is crazy. So people that were going out a little further to save maybe $200 to $500 a month, they are now spending that money on their vehicles. And they're now even that hour away from your family. That comes at a steep cost. Was it worth it? Probably not right now. And if you're also competing with builders out in those further out suburbs, you're not going to be able to sell for quite some time. Like I said, plan your exit at the time of the purchase. Number 32, we're getting close, guys. We're almost at the end. Have you signed up for my website to do a Zoom with us yet? If you haven't, give us a call right now. Shopping and dining vary drastically by area. If you love shopping at Kierland or Scottsdale Quarter in Scottsdale, then live within 10-15 minutes of it. Because if you live further away, you have a lot of other choices in that area, and you may not necessarily always go there. Now, if you want to live near Santan Village, you can live 30-45 minutes away, and that's still probably going to be your destination. Because although Queen Creek is blowing up, there is no shopping area that you can park your car and actually walk around for hours with your girlfriends or guy friends. It's just different. There's a ton of shopping in Queen Creek. They're building a downtown. They're building a downtown in Goodyear too. Downtown Glendale is not really an area that you would go park and go shopping, but you will go up to Westgate Entertainment District. This is what I mean, guys. This is why you have to give us a call. It's very different. And depending on what that priority is for you for shopping and dining experiences, will help guide you to the right area. If you think, and I get this all the time, they're like, I love Scottsdale dining, but I don't want to pay Scottsdale prices. I want to buy in this cheaper part of town and everything. It's okay if we do 30-minute drive for nice dining when it's important. You're never gonna make that 30-minute drive. I just want to let you know. There's too many other options. Scottsdale is not the center of our universe, despite what you might think before you live here. Number 33 is one of my own personal favorites, and I had to learn it the hard way. I call it the car trick. And this is for mostly ladies, especially if you wear nice, pretty footwear, maybe not always conducive for having to hike or walk a long way. If your car, for whatever reason, is no longer operable and you are stuck somewhere in the summer, make sure you have a bottle of water in your car. Doesn't matter if it's warm. Make sure you have comfy shoes to change into in case of an emergency. And this is the craziest thing, is always have an umbrella in your vehicle. Because in those summer days, even if you're sitting on the side of the road waiting for someone to come and get you, you're not going to be sitting in that car. You're going to have an umbrella, so at least you're standing outside in the open air and you're in shade. Number 34, internet and cell service can vary greatly depending on the area you go. I'll tell you, the newer part of Surprise over the last couple of years has not made huge improvements. We have not seen those cell towers. There are some other areas that are equally as challenged. Also, here's a little insight. Verizon is the best carrier in the entire greater Phoenix area. AT&T, although they dominate other big markets, they're terrible here. Number 35, landscaping is desert-based, not grass-heavy like other states. Yeah, this is the desert. But here's the thing. There are certain parts, or should I say certain neighborhoods, that artificial turf is very common. And you will see this literally all over the valley, but not in every single community. Usually when you buy in the lower price or cheaper homes, you're going to find very brown type of landscaping and minimal character. It's not unusual to drive through parts of even Litchfield Park or even Surprise where you're just driving down and every single front of the house is just small little rock and maybe a couple of bushes. It just doesn't feel very welcoming. So if this is really important to you, you're looking for that warm and charming community, I'm going to recommend that you look at some of the pre-sale areas so that you can see what the finished results look like. Builders will absolutely over the top plant and water and set very high expectations. And let me tell you, when the HOA takes over this and has to manage a budget and it's no longer a free-for-all being paid for by the builder, it will change. So if this is important to you, you got to let us know and we'll help you identify the best areas for you. 36, hard water is super common and it makes Appliances have a shorter lifespan in Arizona. And there are certain brands that don't do very well out here. Just saying, you're going to probably want to make some investments if the home doesn't already have softeners or RO systems for water. You're going to probably want to take that into consideration and make that addition. RO systems, oh my gosh, they're all over the board. You can get them on Amazon and install them yourself. Water softeners are going to be a little bit pricier, somewhere between $1,500 and $2,500, but it makes a difference. Me personally, I don't like it because it makes my skin feel all slimy. So there are some other alternatives that are a little bit more natural. Definitely do research because our water is hard, and if you have those beautiful glass shower enclosures, you're going to be fighting that cloudy buildup. You're going to hate it. And number 37, you made it to the end. It's not a big explosion, but I'll tell you, it's something that's crucial to living and loving living in Arizona. And that is that you're going to change your routines completely out here. In the winter months, it might be very much like wherever you might be coming from in the comfortable time of the year. In the summertime, your routine is going to completely change. You're going to be waking up early so that you can get the dog for a walk or go get some fresh air before it gets miserably hot. And then you're going to come home, let's just say 5 or 6 p.m. because you got a lot of traffic, and you're going to not be hungry. Heat takes away your appetite. So you're going to start eating later. You're going to be doing a lot of things later. It's very interesting. And when you're my age, you're going to love taking those afternoon naps. Here's the thing, guys. There is so many unique little nuances about living in Phoenix and loving living here. It's very different. There's not a lot of deserts people actually live in, and it's not just all vacation time. I mean, there are some other parts, but it's not like Arizona. If you are thinking of moving to the greater Phoenix area, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, days, nights, or weekends. You can also scan my QR code, go straight to my website. It'll connect us and we'll get a Zoom meeting set up and answer all your personal questions. Can't wait to hear from you. Did you call yet?